Good evening. Thank you for joining me. Today is Thursday, November the 13th, 2025. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you tuning in to another episode of Breadcrumbs. My name is Reginald Grant, and this is where I talk about, share, do profiles regarding, my dreams, visions, and unsolved murder cases, missing persons, and what not have you. Uh, Today is going to be a little bit lengthy and me sharing several dreams that I've had over the last few months. And I have my whiteboard here. Hopefully, you can see it and sort of illustrate some of the um, things that I've seen and my mind has seen in my dreams. So again, thank you, and let's get started. Thank you. So uh, first, I plan on calling and talking to the detectives in charge of the Mitzi Beavers murder investigation, and hopefully, um, my what I have seen in my dreams plays a role in bringing it to a conclusion or helping in some degree. Okay, so some of these dreams that I've had have been, pretty. They're, you know, 5, 10 years, and one dream I had in particular was I saw this number 01. Now I don't know exactly again the relevance of this particular thing, and I thought maybe it could have been reference to some type of uh, price or cost or something like that. But nonetheless, plain and simple, I saw these two what appeared to be numbers 0 and 1, and uh, another one of my visions. I saw it was high in the sky, and I can't say I saw an particular object or thing. It's just that in my mind perceived the presence, or it was like a collection of viewpoints or thoughts or perspective, and it was high in the sky, and it was going straight, and then it changed directions. And it could have been, I recall it was sort of like a place, and it was going, then it changed directions, and that's basically all that I gathered from that. And other than the fact that, like I said, it wasn't something that I saw. It was like a group or a collection of people's opinions, perspective, or thoughts about this, that, or whatever. So, and then this was a few weeks ago, and I was, this is me right here, okay? And there were these lights, right? These balls of lights, and they were about me. And then they began to move away from me. There were different colors, and they were like balls of light, and they moved as they collectively moved away from me. They got closer and closer and closer together. And at the furthest point away from me, they seemed to come together. So that was interesting, but not exactly sure what that was about. So if you've followed me and you've seen some of my seen some of my episodes, I had a dream a few months ago, and it was about this person getting on a plane and whatnot have you. And in this particular dream that I had recently, there was a person getting on an airplane, and there was a box. I don't know if it was a male or female, black, white, blah, blah, blah. But there was just an ordinary, a medium-sized box on the plane. I don't know what was in it. And that's the only thing I can say, that it just stood out that they had this box on the plane. Usually that's not the case because, I don't know. So I don't know what's all allowed on the carry-on for an airplane. But anyway, twice I've heard the word United. It didn't say United Airlines, but although I'm almost certain that it was referencing to or of United Airlines. And though I did not see the word Seattle, I perceived it in my conscious mind when I was, awake. And I would see it, in repetition, the word Seattle. And I was actually supposed to, several months ago, I was, April, May, or June, sometime this year, I was actually considering going to Seattle with a friend of mine, and because I have family up there, and they were going up there for business. But I actually couldn't go because our schedules were off. So, anyway, now I'm going to share with you a dream that was very long, and I'm going to have to read it sort of verbatim. So, all right, so in this particular dream, I had it in June of this year. So it's a little lengthy, so I'm just going to read it verbatim. I was on a plane, and some men were shooting at the plane. I could see bullet holes. Then there seemed to be men on the plane with us shooting back. It seemed we were near water, and as I looked out the plane's window, it looked like one of the wings was detached and floating in the water. When the shooting started, I was seated on the opposite side of the plane from where I could see the wing and where the shooting was going on. And I was telling the other passengers to get down. And I'm trying to get down, and the shooting stopped. I got up, walked from the front of the plane where I was seated to the back, checking on the others to see if anyone was hit. And while I was walking toward the back inside of the plane, I looked up and I noticed it looked like the part of the roof of the plane was gone. It looked like it had been burned or scarred in some type. The top of the plane was gone. And if I recall, it seemed like fire damage. Okay. So then I looked outside of the plane on the water, and one of the guys that was on the plane and shooting, he was celebrating because he had killed one of the guys that was shooting at the plane that I was on. Then I and the other passengers were in a big building, possibly a hangar, a rifle, and from what I could tell, we were hostages. So this is possibly a hijacking. Then this guy came in, and he had a rifle or a machine gun, and I started walking towards him, thinking to myself that I was going to take the gun away from him using a technique that I saw on TV. Okay. But he put the gun down on the table or cabinet. I was in a cafeteria, okay, getting food, and there was this food I hadn't eaten or heard of before. It was brown and looked like Jell-O. There was other stuff with it, and at first I was like, yuck, no way. But then I was thinking, as I was thinking, I was told, you put this on a sandwich or pancakes. Then someone said, you eat it like it's part of it, like it was a Oreo. Then I saw something that looked like butter in a small metal container, and I thought that it was a good idea. And as I was getting my food, I noticed they were out of pancakes. Then I was in a place near water. Okay. I was talking to the guy who seemed to be in charge. When I looked down in the water and saw these big fish, it was like, wow, by their size, they were really beautiful looking, interesting looking fish. They look, based on the way they looked, I wanted to catch one. Okay. And the guy said, you would have to talk to some woman. And somehow I was able to secure the release of one person. And I pleaded my case in hope of at least 2 people who were ill and also a priest. So I went back to the rest of the passengers to let them know and decide on who would be released. There was this woman in a wheelchair who seemed to be a logical choice. The others began to argue who should go. They were arguing about who wasn't doing anything. Then I slammed my hand on the table and told them this is what I was going to do. And that's the end of that particular dream. So, of course, I have a lot of dreams about airplanes and whatnot have you. And it sort of, to me, this particular instance where, I have no idea where my dreams are including food and how it tastes and what's a good idea. But anyway, this seemed to be in an apparent hijacking. Where, when, I do not know, of course. And I do think that it's tied to, or maybe tied to or related to, the other dreams where I saw this particular person get on the plane with a gun. So hold that thought, because in future episodes, I'm going to share another dream that I had in which a person got on a plane with a gun. It was a 22, I believe. So again, this was a little lengthy, and I do appreciate your time and attention. And as I follow up with other dreams, I will get back with you and share more episodes, because there's a lot more. I didn't want to go into too many in one particular episode. So again, thank you. I appreciate your time. As always, if you have any comments, suggestions, feedback, you can always email me at dowreggie@outlook.com. Thank you for your time, and see you next time.